Welcome to 10 TV Plus, and we begin right now with a look at that damage from those strong winds that moved on through the area yesterday. You're taking a look here at some of the surrounding counties here up near Delaware County and off to the west near Madison County, also near Marysville as well. You can see some straight line winds have torn the roof off of some of those structures. We had some strong winds yesterday, over 60 miles per hour, that issued some severe weather alerts, and it wasn't just bad there either. It really was bad down to the deep south. We thank you so much for joining us here this afternoon. I'm Dylan Robichaud alongside Jay Plyburn. Jay, I was not here for the storms yesterday, but from what I've been hearing and what I've been seeing, it was pretty bad out there.
Yeah, I could not only feel the wind when I walked outside, but I could hear it a good portion of the day. Of course, we also saw a mix of sunshine and rain and a variety of things over the past couple days.
It was kind of a weird day with these on-again, off-again showers and storms, but this monitor behind you really tells the whole story. Take a look at that slew of storm reports here, mostly wind reports and tornado reports. I'd say 99% of the storm damage reports were down here, maybe a couple up in the Midwest. So we definitely kind of dodged a bullet with this one. You can see that we had one off to the west out near London. We also had a few more up in Marysville that aren't showing right here on this map, but you kind of get the point. Man, we had some heavy rainfall as well. For the month of December, we are running a surplus here, 3.22 inches. That will put us about a third of an inch above normal so far for the month. And with that, the drought is pretty much gone. We do have a little bit of a drought out towards Cambridge, but as you head into Franklin County, all of Franklin County is drought free. So that is some good news. We'll take whatever good news we can get around here. Still holding on to an abnormally dry conditions up to the north. Now, as we roll the clock through this week, New Year's Eve will be our next chance that we're going to be eyeing some very heavy rainfall. After New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and there on forward, we're going to be looking at some dry conditions building back into the region. But I want to take some time to talk about this because this will impact your morning rush hour tomorrow if you are one of the unlucky few that will have to work on New Year's Eve. This is what we're looking at. And by the way, we're going through the latest data. The rain comes in Tuesday morning, the heaviest between 6 a.m. and 9 o'clock in the morning. We could be looking at a ½ inch of rain when all is said and done, especially for areas west of I-71, as we'll show you right now. As we head out there this afternoon, I would soak up as much sunshine as you can because we both know this is very seldom in the month of December. We don't get a lot of sunshine. Enjoy it today. As soon as things clear up, here come the clouds rolling in tonight. And by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, here come the showers. We'll stop it right here. Again, the time, 6 a.m., tracking rain moving in from west to east. By 8 o'clock in the morning, we'll have some possible downpours here. And then by about 9 and 10 o'clock, we start pushing it off to the east. The heaviest will be in the morning. That doesn't mean that we're completely dry, though, as we head into the afternoon. Look here, even 3, 4 o'clock, we're starting to get some more showers later tomorrow. And then here comes the arrival of that cold air by 11 p.m. Now we're getting some snow flurries, maybe even some snow showers moving into the region. Town by town, here's what I'm thinking right now as it pertains to rainfall. If you live in this bluish contour, you're going to be looking at 4, maybe 5/10 of an inch. If you live in the green, you're only looking at about a quarter of an inch of rain, maybe a little bit more as we head into tomorrow. And then the other piece of the weather puzzle, the extreme cold. Look at the blues here on the map. We're tracking big time cold moving into this region sometime late this week, maybe Thursday, Friday. Take a look at this right here. There it is right there. The cold air swoosh moving in across the upper Midwest, and it's about to get downright chilly. How cold? By Saturday and Sunday, we're looking at temperatures maybe 10, 12 degrees below average for this time of the year. Daytime highs only in the 20s. So places like Mad River Mountain, finally, they're going to be looking at some cold enough air to go ahead and make that man-made snow. Today and tomorrow, though, we're going to be above normal with highs mostly in the 50s. So it's kind of a seesaw, if you will. Now, late this week, take a look at this. So down here at the bottom of your screen, we have the days. As we head out towards January 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, this is going into this next weekend, going into next week. Look at this. We are going to be below normal for this time of the year. And so it's not a quick surge of cold air, if you will. The cold air will be with us for several days. Once we get rid of the warm weather, the cold air is here for quite some time. The weekend outlook looks like this. Saturday, looking at a cold day, high of 26. And then we're looking at the possibility of a storm system on Sunday, maybe Sunday night going into Monday. Let's take some time right now to talk about this. And this is going to be forming off across the Colorado Rockies. You can see right now, take a look at the strong upper level low. Sunday night going into Monday morning, Monday 8:30. There's the center of that storm across southern Indiana, moving in across the Ohio Valley. And the track is really everything. I'm telling you right now, a 100, 200 mile difference in that track could really mean a drastic outcome for us depending on where you live. If the storm track goes further to the north, we're going to get stuck with some milder air. What does that mean? Could be looking at a rainstorm. If it takes more one of these middle tracks, so let's say it takes track number 2, we could be looking at a combination of cold air at the ground, warmer air aloft. What do you get? You get ice. We could be looking at a possible ice storm if it takes that track. And then the third and final scenario would be a track down towards the Tennessee River Valley. If it does that, then we would have all the cold air on the north side of that low pressure. We'd be looking at snow heading into Sunday night, going into Monday of next week. And so this could definitely impact your travel depending on which way that low tracks. So you're going to want to pay attention to updates on that as we get more data. For now, let's talk about the 7-day forecast. We're going to be looking at some snow flurries rolling into the area sometime on Friday. You can see right now, Friday at 4:30 in the morning, tracking that combination of a few snow flurries out there. And then as we head towards Friday afternoon, that moves on out of here. And we're not looking at a whole lot. Maybe a quick trace, maybe a dusting, depending on exactly where you live. And then that moves on out of here. As we get a look here at the rest of the 7-day forecast, again, on Sunday, tracking the possibility of that snow event. Late Sunday night, this may actually get pushed back to Monday entirely. But again, just to reiterate, tracking a strong upper level low, moving in across parts of the Buckeye State, could drive in some snow or rain depending on which track it takes. A southerly track would mean that we have more cold air, could be looking at snow. If it takes a northerly track, we tap into that warm air, could be looking at all rain. Needless to say, I think that will impact all of us here late next week and going into next week. That moves on out of here. And then temperatures are going to be downright chilly every single day. Daytime highs will be in the 20s. Nighttime lows will be in the teens. So it's going to be downright cold as we say goodbye to 2024 and we say hello to the start of a brand new year.
Embrace the 50s the next couple of days because who knows when they'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, not anytime soon. We're looking at the possibility of a couple of weeks of below average temperatures. So,
if not months. Well, you've got a better idea than I do.
Yeah.
I'm just saying enjoy it while you can.
Enjoy it while you can. All right, time now for a little trivia action here. So here's a look at today's weather trivia question. The Earth is closest to the sun in January, March, June, or September. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm inclined to say June because of the summer solstice, but maybe it's a trick. I'm going to go with C, June.
You're going to go with C. All right. So a lot of people might think that the answer January.
Really?
Yep. So January the 4th is what we call perihelion, which is when the sun and when the Earth is closest to the sun.
Interesting.
Right. And so this time of the year, the southern hemisphere is not only in their summertime, but they're also a little bit closer as well.
Huh.
So let's think about that. All right, let's go ahead and look at a quick illustration of that. And you can see here the sun to Earth distance. And so the average distance is about 93 million miles. Now on the 4th of January, it's 91.4 million miles. On July the 3rd, that's what we call aphelion. All right, it's the reciprocal of perihelion. At this point, we're actually further away at 94.5 million miles. But then you might be wondering, if we're further away, why does the temperature get warmer? Well, because we're tilted towards the sun. And because we're tilted towards the sun, that means that the northern hemisphere gets more sunlight, and that's why things warm up as we head into the summer months. Meanwhile, this time of the year, it's the southern hemisphere that is in their summertime because they are tilted more closely towards it. So
I feel like you tricked me on that one. I think that was...
I give you credit because that will throw a lot of people off.
I'm just glad I know this now because my birthday sometimes falls in the summer solstice, June 20th, usually 20th, 21st. And so, yeah, I would have assumed that we are closer to the sun because it is warmer that time of year.
But it's also colder in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, good point, yeah.
So
The more you know.
Yep. All right, that does it us for now on 10 TV Plus. Tune in to Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz tonight at 4, 5, and 6.